The Tale of the Bamboo Cutter and the Moon Princess. Once upon a time, in ancient Japan, there was a humble bamboo cutter who lived deep in the forest with his wife. His life was simple, but he found peace in his work, cutting bamboo and selling it in the village. One day, while he was walking through the forest, he noticed something strange. A bamboo stalk shone with an ethereal glow, unlike any he had ever seen. Intrigued, he approached it and, to his surprise, found a tiny, glowing child inside the bamboo. The baby was wrapped in a soft, radiant cloth, and her skin shone like silver. Astonished, the bamboo cutter gently cradled the child in his arms and rushed home to his wife. The couple, though old and childless, was overjoyed by the child's sudden arrival and decided to raise her as their own. They named her Kaguya-hime, meaning, Princess of the Bamboo. As the years passed, Kaguya-hime grew into an incredibly beautiful young woman, with skin as pale as moonlight and hair that sparkled like the stars. Her beauty was so captivating that it soon spread throughout the land, and many noble suitors came to seek her hand in marriage. One day, the Emperor of Japan himself heard of Kaguya-hime's beauty and sent his emissaries to offer her a royal marriage proposal. However, Kaguya-hime turned down every suitor with an impossible task. She asked them to bring her rare treasures that no mortal could possibly find, a jeweled branch from the mythical horai tree, a robe made from the feathers of the firebird, the dragon's jewel from the bottom of the sea, and a bowl that could hold the essence of the elixir of life. Each suitor, in turn, set out to fulfill her impossible requests, but none succeeded. They all returned empty-handed, humiliated, and heartbroken. As time passed, the bamboo cutter and his wife grew more and more anxious. They knew that Kaguya-hime was not of this world, but they did not understand the true nature of her origins. Kaguya-hime, despite her growing beauty and grace, seemed melancholic and distant. She would often gaze longingly at the moon, her thoughts far from the earthly realm. One fateful evening, as the full moon rose over the distant mountains, Kaguya-hime finally revealed her secret to the bamboo cutter and his wife. She confessed that she was not a mortal, but a moon princess, sent to Earth as punishment for a crime she had committed in the celestial realm. Her true home was the moon, and her time on Earth was coming to an end. The bamboo cutter and his wife were devastated, but they knew that Kaguya-hime had to return to her rightful place. As the night of her departure approached, Kaguya-hime became more withdrawn, her once lively spirit now filled with sorrow. The emperor, who had fallen deeply in love with her, was heartbroken. On the eve of her departure, he ordered his soldiers to guard the road to the bamboo cutter's house, preventing anyone from leaving. But despite all the efforts, the celestial beings came for Kaguya-hime. They descended from the moon, floating down in glowing chariots with winged horses, ready to take her back. Kaguya-hime walked toward the chariots, dressed in the finest robes, her face glowing with otherworldly beauty. As she bid farewell to the bamboo cutter and his wife, she handed them a letter, written in the ancient script of the moon. She promised that, even though she was leaving, they would always be together in spirit. The emperor, who had been watching from a distance, tried to reach her, but the soldiers stood frozen, unable to stop her. As Kaguya-hime ascended into the sky, she left behind a trail of silver light, like a comet streaking through the heavens. When she reached the moon, she disappeared, leaving the earth in complete silence. The bamboo cutter and his wife never saw Kaguya-hime again. They lived out the rest of their days in quiet reflection, comforted by the knowledge that their daughter was now where she truly belonged. On clear nights, the couple would look up at the moon and see Kaguya-hime's face, glowing brightly among the stars, a reminder of the extraordinary being they had once cared for. As for the emperor, he was never the same after Kaguya-hime's departure. He spent the rest of his life looking up at the moon, longing for the love he had lost. Legends say that he even tried to find a way to the moon, but all his efforts were in vain. The tale of Kaguya-hime became one of Japan's most beloved and tragic folktales, reminding all who heard it of the fragility of love, the mystery of the moon, and the fleeting nature of time. Moral of the story: The story of Kaguya-hime teaches us about the inevitable passage of time and the impermanence of even the most beautiful and precious things in life. It also speaks of the celestial and earthly realms, reminding us of the connection between the two, and that sometimes, things meant to be will never remain in our world forever.